Welcome back to KBC News Check. We are on the tail end of this conversation, and just in case you joined us, Honorable Peter Mutuku Mutua, who is a governance and policy expert and also the head of delivery unit for the great county of Nairobi. Just next to him, we have Engineer Jackton Achieng. Thank you, gentlemen, for keeping me company, and of course, even during the break, we were having some banter here, but because of the interest of time, Mheshimiwa, where does this, the former premier did mention matters of political parties, and since 2005, since the inception of ODM, he has really clamored for political parties to not only have their own independence, to have their own power, as opposed to having either merging or even sometimes working with some of the political parties just to keep the political space more democratic. Because Baba was one of those who fought for the repealing of Section 2A of the Constitution in 1990. Now we have KANU, which has been warming up to government, just like we saw. And I'm talking about warming up because we have seen the political leaders of KANU having some talks with the President William Ruto, and even Gideon Moi has bowed out of the senatorial seat in Baringo. Where does this leave the political party's democracy?
Well, for KANU, it was long overdue. I don't know why they had to delay this much. Says they suffer in the code for that long. They should have joined
but
immediately.
In the opposition.
No, which opposition? KANU of today is not the KANU of 2002. KANU of today is a shell of the original KANU. And that's what I was telling you. KANU remaining in the hands of some characters is you continue showing that KANU is a tribal party. And that's why I was insisting that ODM, they should go back and think who becomes the party leader. It doesn't have to be from such from the region where the former came from. Now back to the political parties. You see, if they don't make a decision, if you don't make a decision, nobody will ever make a decision on your behalf. And now that KANU has joined, not even imagine it, it has already joined the government. Now that is in the government, we have other political parties that are out there, more so the ones that have a substantial number in both houses, Senate and the National Assembly, also including even as county assemblies. It is their time now to take their position as opposition parties. And if they don't speak out, then the absence of their speaking, it can be construed that they are supporting what is happening in silence. So it is they have been given an opportunity to shine. So if they don't shine, then it means that they were a mistake and a waste of time. So it's their time now and to shine. And look here, we have you started with the UDM, a party that is dominance is in Mandera. After getting the governorship, senator, MPs, and some assembly, they immediately joined the government.
Yes.
Thereby validating the assumption that Kenya Kwanza had the majority.
Yes.
Had they not, ODM was the majority. Had they not,
yes,
ODM was the majority.
Yeah.
Even in fact, even after joining, ODM remained majority. You remember there was a ruling that came out the other day, and for the interests of the broad-based, arrangement, the ruling said that ODM has a majority, but in the House they are in minority leadership. Junet is a minority leader, but in the numbers, so the ones that have refused or remained, or the ones who are still struggling to come into terms that they need to fold and join the government, they either join now, and if they do not join now, we want to see, in the absence of joining, what is your value? Because we want value. You cannot be an opposition without value. So if you are there as an opposition and there's no value, then we would rather join, and we know that we only have a complete broad-based government from one corner to the other, and then we go back to the drawing board. We form new parties because we are causing confusion. We reduce uncertainty by either joining or behaving as the way you are supposed to behave as position. We find your value. But if you don't see your value, you'd rather join.
All right. Gentlemen, I'm informed by my director that we're out of time, but I'll give you your final words. And Mheshimiwa has talked about if you don't have, you don't see value in where you are, you maybe need to change a seat. But I would like to pick your mind in regards to maybe the forthcoming by-elections and maybe what impact the absence of Baba can have in regards to that. As we wrap up, your final comment.
Thank you very much, viewers and Troy, for the engagement. It's simple. This one, the by-elections that are coming and happening now is not a litmus, as I've mentioned, to anything in 2027 election.
Yeah.
This is going to be a point where voting will be done with the party, party stronghold will take the day. And that will transit us to 2027, where now ideologies will be able to be followed. And anybody who is has not delivered by 2027 in any way, whether you're in a party, strong party or not, the wave for the Gen Zs, when sensitized to vote, to go and look for their, to register for voters card, will actually change the whole scheme in 2027. And I think we as leaders need to go out again and ensure that we sensitize the community that voting is, not voting, but voter registration is currently ongoing, so that we have people coming out in 2027 to vote for the leaders that they know will be able to deliver and ensure that services get down to the people.
All right. Mheshimiwa?
Well, just we grow up, we become decisive, and stop blaming one another. And most important, let us be known as rational people from Kenya who are civilized, and we move from the position of being empty, and we acquire skills and knowledge, so that whenever you make a decision or take one, it is informed by the decisions that was based on rationalization. Thank you.
Thank you. That has been Honorable Peter Mutuku Mutua, who is the head of Nairobi County Delivery Unit and is also a governance expert. Just next to him, we have Engineer Jackton Acheng Mwembe, who is also a leadership and governance expert, and also, you said, secretary, honorary secretary of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya.
Yes.
We are putting things into perspective when it comes to the national importance. And we are now switching gears to matters tobacco and nicotine news. Reason here is that there was a conversation, and especially we did that on radio, and there is a new challenge when it comes to tobacco use in the country. We have new products. We have the vapes, the nicotine pouches, and the young people, the young generation, and even those who are not even 18 are using it. We need to see how that can be controlled, not only for health, but for prosperity as well. I leave you with the cabinet. We'll be back after 3-4 minutes with that discussion. I'll be hosting someone from the Tobacco Control Alliance to see exactly how we can help our young men and women. Let's take a break. Gilbert Kabere Mbinjiwe, who was born in 1926, joined elective politics in the 1974 general election when he won the Meru Central parliamentary seat, which would later in 1986 be renamed South Imenti constituency. Prior to that, Mbinjiwe, armed with a bachelor's degree in agriculture from the University of Reading in the United Kingdom, had worked as a land consolidation officer in the Ministry of Agriculture and later became a planning officer in the same ministry before resigning to join private sector. Mbinjiwe was appointed Minister for Tourism and later held same capacity in Agriculture, Energy and Health ministries. During his tenure at the Agriculture Ministry, he oversaw proposals to establish irrigation projects in some dry parts of the country through the National Irrigation Board. One such project was the Mitungo Irrigation Scheme at the boundary of Meru and Tharaka Nithi counties, which was key in addressing food security in the area. Binjiwe is also credited with initiating water projects and the Meru College of Technology, now Meru University of Science and Technology. He was re-elected as an MP in 1983 and appointed Minister for Health, where he was credited with expanding health facilities in the country. He was later transferred to head the Ministry of Energy. Binjiwe's name was adversely mentioned in the Miller Commission of Inquiry set up in 1984 by President Moi to investigate the conduct of Minister for Constitutional Affairs Charles Njonjo. This led to a demand in Parliament that Binjiwe resign from his position, but President Moi defended him. Also in Parliament, he was accused of receiving a bribe during his time as Minister for Health, though these accusations proved false. During the 1988 general election, he won the newly created South Imenti parliamentary seat and was appointed Assistant Minister for Research, Science and Technology. He lost the seat in 1992 to the Forum for Restoration of Democracy Ford Kenya candidate Kiraitu Muronge. Binjiwe retired to his rural home and led a quiet life until his death in November 2017. For the Cabinet, I'm Ben Troy Njua. Welcome back to KBC News Check. On this second hour, we'll be looking at matters tobacco and the new products that we have seen in the country, and what health challenges do they pose and how do we control that, especially when it comes to the use of tobacco products by underage children, as we have seen. But before we do that, allow me to revisit a story that we are keeping tabs with in regards to an aircraft accident, and allow me to read the press statement by the KCAA, that is the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, that has confirmed that an aircraft registration number 5C-CCA that was on its way from Diani to Kichwa Tembo crashed at about 5:30 this morning. The aircraft had about 12 passengers on board. Government agencies are already on site to establish the cause of the accident and its impact. And we, from the news that we are getting, is that there could be fatalities in regards to that accident. But the rescue efforts and what exactly happened, that is why I've mentioned that government agencies are already on site to establish the cause of the accident and also its impact. And of course, you can be checking our social media spaces, our socials at Twitter at KBC Channel 1, and even on Facebook, to just check in regards to see whether there are any updates, not only on this aircraft, but also in regards to what we are talking about. Yes, we are back. And if you have noticed, there are a number. When I was growing up, I just saw the grown-ups were smoking cigarettes, but over the years that has changed also to include some of the nicotine products. One of them, I'm quite sure you've noticed it, is the vape. Yeah. I remember somebody was calling them e-cigarettes, but the vapes themselves, and also nicotine pouches. The reason why they are quite hard to detect is that they're not like just conventional cigarettes that you just take and smoke. The nicotine pouches, You know, you can put them anywhere and nobody will know. But unfortunately, this has cascaded down to our young men and women, and especially now that we have a very long weekend. That is a discussion that we will be having here. Allow me to introduce my guest. Thomas Lindy is the coordinator for the Tobacco Control and Health Promotions Alliance. Karibu sana, Thomas.
Asante.
We were indeed expecting someone from Nakada, but because of some things that we couldn't have avoided, that is why we will not be having that. But it's a good conversation to have. And maybe to kick us off, how significant is the problem of youth using tobacco, and especially the new products now? They're not even made here. The vapes, I don't see any company making them here. The nicotine pouches, I've not seen any company making them here, unless you can correct me on that. How rampant and significant is this issue, and especially when it comes to underage?
Thank you very much for having me, and also for bringing up this good conversation, because it concerns the health of our people, that is Kenyans. And the problem is not only among the youth. We have seen these products coming in very fast. They are being dumped. In fact, they are being dumped into the country. So most of them are made in Asia, some of them in Europe. And we see this a problem because the Tobacco Control Act that we have in place did not foresee this. You know, we had the law coming in place in 2007. And so meaning that there is a gap in terms of regulation of this product. And that's what the main challenge that we're having. We have young men and women who have been enticed by some of these marketers of these products. The tobacco industry is trying to target them just to retain the profits that they have been making from the traditional cigarettes. Myself and you, as you have just mentioned, we grew up seeing people smoking. But when the Tobacco Control Act came into place, we were able to control that. It's now outlawed to smoke in public. You cannot just light up a cigarette on the streets of Nairobi and continue smoking. You cannot smoke in buses. You cannot smoke in matatus. And this is aimed at protecting the mothers and the children and many passengers. We call it second-hand smoke. We are protecting people from this second-hand smoke. That's why you saw an attempt at having the designated smoking zones that you have seen. Some of them are at Jivanji, you have seen a smoking zone there. Another one at bus station, another one at Uhuru Park.
Even GPO.
Yeah, and the GPO also. So that is an attempt at trying to implement this law, even though those smoking zones are not up to standard. So this is a huge problem, because we are seeing products coming in that are not clearly classified as tobacco products, and they are being sold with so many flavors, enticing advertisement, social media, everywhere. So this one is creating a new generation of addicts to these tobacco products, and that is a very dangerous thing that is happening in our country.
It's a good thing that you've mentioned that. It's more or less there's a lacuna. The reason I'm talking about this is because I remember there was this discussion in regards to the nicotine pouches in Parliament this year, and they kind of disappeared. The nicotine pouches disappeared, but they're back. And the reason I'm talking about their back is because each and every time before I embark on such an interview, I like to see what the market is offering, what is there, what is the extent. The reason also talking about the Tobacco Control Act of 2007 having a lacuna is because I'm looking at initially, you could see billboards, you could see television, you could see posters advertising cigarettes, but that was controlled by the Tobacco Control Act. And now cigarettes, they have smoking zones, just you've mentioned. Cigarettes have to have a cautionary message. You've seen a packet having, you know, some really grim pictures of somebody who has suffered cancer because of tobacco.
Not to sell to under 18.
Not to sell under 18. You know, they can't be sold anywhere, you know. And that said, when it comes to these new products, the vapes and the nicotine pouches, is the Tobacco Control Act equipped to deal with this, and what more needs to be done? Before we see what the alliance, your alliance, is doing, from your view and what you have seen, is the Tobacco Control Act of 2007 really equipped to deal with these new products? Because when it comes to cigarettes, we see they've done something, you know. You don't see advertisements of cigarettes, you don't see posters, you don't see billboards, you also don't see, you know, you also see you can't smoke anywhere, you have to go to a smoking zone.
What I will say is that the Act in itself is not equipped. That's why, as you have said, we have had debates in Parliament. There's a process that is going on to upgrade the Act. One of the things is that we had the Act before the new Constitution. So the issue of devolution is not captured well in terms of enforcement and so on and so forth. So that one needs to be nipped in the bud, one. And two, the Act did not foresee these emerging tobacco products. So that's why we need to strengthen it. The products, in terms of classification, I would say that the products are still in that category. These are tobacco products. Though some people will argue that, oh, the nicotine in the product is derived from something else. No, the nicotine, most of the nicotine that we have is the one that is used to produce this product. Yeah, so we properly classify them as tobacco products. Now, going to the next area is the issue of the marketing of this product. So once we classify them as tobacco product, now we need all that applies to any tobacco product also to apply to this product in terms of the way they are sold. Yeah, we need restrictions on how they are sold, how they are advertised. There is a lot of online sales of these products.
And even the ingredients.
Yeah, the ingredients and all those, the juices, all the what we call the paraphernalia that goes with it. You know, we had a problem with shisha, which also faced the same problem. But the Ministry of Health came out strongly to deal with the issue of shisha. And we were actually advocating that this is a point whereby the Ministry of Health should also come out strongly to deal with these pouches. When the pouches were introduced in 2019, one of the big companies that actually sells these products is the one that brought it in. They were illegally licensed. And that's when we had a lot of push and pull in that the licensing of this product was an illegal process. So that's when they were first of all classified as poison by the Poison Act, but later on it was moved to the Tobacco Control Act. So that is where it is properly placed, and that's where the product should be dealt with. Yeah. So we see that the industry tried to play around the products with the games because they wanted these products to be sold in the country. And one of the things that they did, they were trying to promise us that they are creating a 2 billion manufacturing plant to manufacture these products for Kenya and the East African region, which was a lie. It never happened.
Yeah.
There is nothing
and even
like
if it's a 10 billion factory, and unfortunately, whatever the product they're making is harming our youth. Yeah. Even if it's 10 billion, 20 billion, then that is retrogressive.
I think they were trying just to appeal to our policymakers in terms of they were trying to create, they would say that we are creating employment, we are investing into the country, allow us to license this product so that it can be, it can meet whatever they are saying that it's a reduced harm product. But our analysis, an alternative, reduced harm, all those are the words that they are playing around with. But studies have shown that these products are as harmful as cigarettes. Yeah, and we have seen issues of the rise in cancer cases in our country, which are attributed to some of this product. Yeah,
yes,
we see the cases of cardiovascular diseases attributed to this product. We see issues of gum disease, all those harmful effects that can be attributed to this product. They are emerging in our country. So these are a case of concern, even for our leaders. People at the Ministry of Health should take it as a priority to ensure that we have a new law that can quickly address the issue in place. As an alliance, we had proposed to them, and this one was around 2020 when we have the COVID pandemic. We wrote to the ministry and asked them that as a stopgap measure, they can actually, the same way they did with shisha, we can ban this product from a directive from the Ministry of Health, but we didn't see a lot happening in that. Rather, they actually declared tobacco products as essential products during the COVID-19 pandemic, which really did not work well for our country.
And as an alliance, and I'm speaking this because looking at how the government came out to ban shisha, but as an alliance, you very well know that you don't even have to go far from here. Kilimani.
Yeah. We know where these products are consumed. Yeah.
Roysambu.
Yeah. It's still there.
Shisha is still there.
But NACADA has come up very strongly, and I would like to recommend what they have been doing and encourage them to continue.
Yeah.
As late as last year, though there was a court case that actually slowed down the efforts of NACADA because the ban was not properly placed in terms of the penalties and everything. So in terms of the processes, it was not complete for the shisha ban. But now that has been concluded. Now we call upon NACADA to come out strongly once again. And we want to see heads rolling. In fact, some of these establishments, they are very notorious. The issue of noise pollution is there. The issue of shisha being sold in different places is there. Even at homes, some people consume shisha at home. So NACADA should come up with measures to address all that. Those that are consuming in clubs, we want to see arrests. Those that are consuming shisha at home. Those that are importing. You know, shisha is a whole paraphernalia of different components. So the importers of these products also need to be taken care of so that we can protect the health of our people.
Yeah. And without mentioning any company here, what tactics are these companies using to woo the young generation? Because we know very well the old generation, mostly they are into cigarettes, you know, and we have for years tried to address that menace. But when it comes to the young people, you see what they are using is more or less shisha, the vapes and also the nicotine pouches. How are they roping in that young generation?
One of the things that we are also looking at, the best way to address is the issue of flavors. Nicotine itself is very pungent in that you can't consume it directly the way people, even if you are a new smoker, once you try to experiment with smoking, you will cough. And you'll cough maybe for a long time, teary eyes and all that. That is because these products are not palatable to a human being. Even animals, goats, cows, they don't consume tobacco that is being grown in the farms. They run away from it. And some people say that in those rural areas, if you want to control snakes and pests and some of them, just grow tobacco near your home. They won't come. They run away. So that shows the potency in this product. So one of the things that we have seen these companies coming up with, these are the flavors. We have berry frost, we have mango, we have ice, whatever.
Mango. They
are just there to mask what the product is really about. In nicotine itself, you can't consume it just like that. So we are looking at the issue of flavoring. We want to ensure that this is taken care of so that we don't attract those that did not intend to consume the product. You know, the youth and the peer pressure. If one youth sees the other one maybe maybe producing all these flavors from their mouth, their good smell, they will also want to experiment with that. And that's where they get addicted. So rather than apart from the flavors, we have the issue of the aggressive marketing and also the availability of the product.
By as I said earlier, you mentioned aggressive marketing. Maybe for the purposes of this interview, what do you mean exactly by aggressive marketing, bearing in mind that these things are not supposed to be advertised on television, on radio? We're not supposed to see any tobacco products on billboards. How aggressive are these manufacturers?
We have evidence to the tune that when some of these vendors of this product, the importers, when they are activating the products in the market, they even give free samples. That one has happened, and we have seen that. We have evidence to that effect. Even the nicotine pouches, once, when they were first being introduced in Kenya, they used to give free samples.
For free?
Anywhere, you are given to test. You are told that it will lift you up to the skies, then it drops you down the next minute. And you have seen even online, they are using even influencers, people that are well known in the country.
Yes.
They are influencing these products by actually trying to sample them. Yeah, you know how they do it. Yeah, they say that we have these products in the market, just try it. And you see, because these people have huge following, people will try to do what they are doing. So there's the issue of influencer marketing. We have those the issue of free sample and also the availability. When the nicotine pouches came, they were sold in can. But after some time, these guys started selling them in sachets. The Kadogo economy, you know about that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So if you can't afford the can, which has like 20 or 30 whatever, you can get a sachet which is cheaper and which has also the same product, yeah? And with the different flavors that you need. Yeah, and the strengths, the way they describe them.
Yes, yes.
So this one has been done, if you go to Facebook, you'll find that there is that type of marketing going on. You are even told to dial within 5 minutes, the products will be delivered to you. You can even try it. Just go on Facebook, Instagram. They have those dial delivery options, whereby you just call them within 2-3 minutes. The delivery guy will be here with your product and you pay. Yeah. So that's what we call the type of marketing that has been put in place to ensure that this product actually hooks, or they get the market that they want. And the other thing that they are trying to do is they are giving it as an alternative, telling you that if you want to quit smoking, you can use the vapes or the velo. It will help you to quit. But these things are still, they have the nicotine content, which is actually very high. So there is no way that you'll quit. You'll just be moving from one addiction to another, or to dual use of the product.
Ooh. And that you've mentioned addiction. And the young people might not quite contemplate the magnitude or the veracity of addiction, but what exactly are other health risks that they do not know? Just like you've mentioned that they offer them as alternative. So what other health concerns should the young people who are watching this program know in regards to shisha, in regards to the nicotine pouches, and in regards to the vapes? Other than addiction, just like you mentioned, you can come from one addiction to another or have both. And that one actually eats into the economy of the consumer, meaning that you will prioritize, because you are addicted, you will prioritize this product. Now, the other effects that are known for tobacco products, we have the effects on the lungs, the cardiovascular system. There is also the issue of heart disease, which is also associated with some of these products. Yeah, we have talked about the gum, the teeth, and those are some of esophageal cancer.
The cancers, the different types of cancers. And studies have shown that some of these diseases are on the rise. Generally in Kenya, the incidences of cancer are going up, and we are having that burden that we have to bear as a country. So we need to put in the stopgap measures, and that's why some of our parliamentarians are really concerned about this. We would like the Ministry of Health to move away. We have seen the Ministry of Health doing advocacy, the Tobacco Control Unit, and also the Tobacco Control Board. They should actually move away from this. This is the work for civil society. We are good at doing advocacy. They should focus on legislation. If we have good laws in our country, it's good. It will be easy for us to nip all this problem in the bud, But if we can't be able even to move this to the next level, because the issue of the review of the Tobacco Control Act did not come up yesterday. We have been having this debate by Ministry of Health officials for more than 3 years now, yeah? Up to the point that Senator Muma came up with a bill. And now we have 2 bills in place. There is the Muma bill at the Senate and also the Ministry of Health with their own bill. So we are urging that these 2 laws should be merged together. We have a stronger law that can be able to take care of this, including removing the designated smoking zones. We feel that they are not up to standard. The standard, the WHO prescribes the standard for the smoking zones and all those places, yeah? Then we can ban also the flavors which are attracting our youth to some of these products, the vapes and the velos, yeah? And many other provisions that we are still looking at that will help to protect our country.
Let's go back to the market itself, because tobacco is also one of the cash cows of this country.
Yeah.
Where does that leave them? Because just like you say, there's a company who had offered that to build a 2 billion Kenya shillings farm here for making of these alternative tobacco products. Where does this leave farmers and the government actually itself? Because if at all I will have to stop doing tobacco farming, I will have to get an alternative.
Yes.
Then if I'm not given an alternative, then I'll continue
tobacco farming.
Tobacco farming.
Yeah. We have a project that is in place, being implemented in Migori, and moving also to the other part of the country. The Tobacco Free Farms project that is spearheaded by the Ministry of Health, the World Health Organization, the Food and FAO, that is the Food and
Agriculture Organization.
Yeah, Food and Agriculture, and all those different players coming in just to assist the tobacco farmer to move from tobacco farming to alternative. So that one is being taken care of. The farmer now has options. He doesn't have to be burdened by the loans that is being advanced by the tobacco industry to stick into tobacco farming. Now they have an option whereby they are being empowered to move from tobacco farming into, they call it the Nyota Beans project. Yeah, yeah. So this has been, in 2025, I think, yeah, WHO was within the country when we were marking the World No Tobacco Day. They launched this product and this project into the country, and we have seen it moving and actually getting a lot of farmers from this product. So that one can be taken care of if we also invest more in that, so that we have less production of this product in the country. We know if the production goes out, the manufacturers obviously will look an alternative place to get their raw materials. But at least we'll have rescued. You know, the issue of there's a lot of harm that comes from tobacco farming. There's the environmental degradation issues. There is the issues of green leaf disease that a lot of tobacco farmers have been suffering from. So we want to rescue them from all this, so that the type of poverty that is exhibited in tobacco growing areas, they can be able to be freed from that. You know, I'll maybe challenge you one of these times, just visit any tobacco growing area within the country, and you'll be surprised the levels of poverty that are palpable in these areas.
Actually, I totally understand and concur, because on the lower part of where I come from, that is, I come from Embu County, and the lower part of Embu, that is the Mbeere side, the Yodas, they have very big farms there. And since you mentioned the Tobacco Control Act of 2007, let's now look at the penalties. Because we have seen joints that have been raided by Nakada and police officers, and we see some kettles of shisha and some people arrested. Are these penalties deterrent enough?
I think we are also looking at upgrading them, so that some of these establishments, we have penalties that are really biting to them, so that they can actually move away from this. There is the issue of public smoking, whereby the penalty, I think, is 50,000 or something like that. Yeah. So all this needs to be upgraded so that it can reflect the realities of today.
Okay,
Yeah.
just hold the thought, just in case you joined us. This is KBC News Check, and we are looking at tobacco control when it comes to our young men and women. Reason being, earlier on you would see people smoking. The government did come up with the Tobacco Control Act of 2007, and we have now the smoking zones. We banned in that act, we banned the advertising of cigarettes in any form, billboards, radio, television. But there is an emerging concern, and that has been matters shisha, nicotine pouches, and also vapes. So where, as we have said with Thomas Lindy from the Tobacco Control Alliance, is that much need to be done. There is a lacuna. And just before we crossed over to Mombasa for that presser, we were talking about are the penalties, and are they deterrent enough? We've seen people being arrested. We've seen people being taken to court. Yeah. Are these penalties quite deterrent?
Are deterrent, but we'll also be seeking at upgrading this. Right now, for companies, maybe establishments, it ranges between 50 and 500,000. Yeah. And for individuals, maybe smoking in public, you'll be fined 50,000. Selling to minor, underage, that is under 18, you'll be fined maybe 50,000. If a minor is also found being introduced to some of this product, that is the range. And we think that this also needs to be upgraded, especially for the multinational importers of this product. And when we start now speaking about the vapes and the e-cigarette, this one needs to be upgraded so that we have stiffer penalties and also maybe longer jail terms.
Yeah, because the moment that you've mentioned 50,000, some clubs in Kilimani, Roysambu, they make 50,000 within a few minutes.
That's pocket change to them.
That's pocket change to them.
Yeah. And
mostly you find that some people who are arrested and the few money they are asked for, they just give and they're out.
Yeah,
but the vice continues.
Yeah, so sure, that one needs to be strengthened so that it can also be a lesson, so that those that are actually engaging in some of these illegalities, if found guilty, can also learn their lesson. So I concur with you. There's need for us to upgrade that so that it is punitive enough so that we can prevent the vices, especially for the issues of shisha. And as we continue, maybe we can just encourage NACADA. I know they have done a good work as an authority. They should continue. That's part of their work.
Let's go back to civic education.
Yeah.
From the standpoint of Tobacco Control Alliance, and I'm looking at civic education. If you buy a packet of cigarette, you will see all those messages, telling you smoking kills, showing quite some grim pictures of people, cancer.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we don't have those civic education messages on radio, on television, on billboards. No smoking, don't smoke, smoking gives you this and this and this and this. Yeah. I don't really have to buy that packet to read why smoking is harmful. Another thing, the nicotine pouches are not designed to have all these messages of warning. The vapes don't have these messages. Now, when it comes to civic education, how do we carry it, and what exactly are you doing as an alliance?
The Act stipulates that this is the function of the Ministry of Health. Yeah, they should put out those warning, tobacco use causes, blah blah blah. Even on TV, we should have such messages running all through, and especially maybe when we are having the World No Tobacco event, there's need for us also to sponsor that. Now, apart from that, the issue of civic education, you have also mentioned about the issue of pictorial health warnings.
Yes.
Yeah, we are pushing, and I think Honorable Duale approved that for nicotine pouches and e-cigarettes in February this year. So that one has already been taken care of. It is just the compliance period that is yet to elapse. But we are looking forward to seeing the nicotine pouches, the vapes, the e-cig, all those tobacco products, they should have pictorial health warnings so that it's easy for the consumer to know the damages that he's causing to the body. And as a deterrent also measures to those that would maybe want to get into the behavior, just to see what will happen in a short while when they consume the product. But as the Alliance Ketka, right now we are pushing this message in different sectors. There is the issue of taxation of tobacco products, where we are part of the Kenya Tobacco and Nicotine Tax Coalition. This is a coalition that is looking at the issue of taxing these products, so that WHO has recommended that this is one of the measures among the Empower packages that they provide. If we have taxes for tobacco products going up, eventually it will lead to reduction in consumption of the product. That has been proven, and we are pushing for that. We are actually talking to some of our legislators and those that are concerned, KRA and the rest, so that we can have a conversation about how best to tax the product. Right now it's around 32%, but WHO recommends 70%.
70%?
70%.
That is more than twice.
Yeah, because tobacco and cigarettes in our country, they are very cheap. Go to some of these developing countries or developed countries, you'll be surprised how much a cigarette costs there. Very expensive. It should be so that we can also make it, especially even to minors, so that they cannot afford this product. And this is the measure that we are pushing, so that we can save this generation from the effects of tobacco products.
Yeah, maybe you can add this one, because I've seen it since I was a little boy. You find that you can buy even a single stick. So you go to the shop and you just buy just a single one.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Yeah,
that's illegal. That's already taken care of in the Tobacco Control Act.
If that's illegal, then that's
the sale of single sticks is illegal in our country.
Are you serious?
Yes.
No, I just can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. So
anyway, outside, you just need one stick or two
and
sticks.
This one communicates to the issue you are talking about of public education, civic education. Yeah. So we need to have a robust program whereby people can be educated on this. Even vendors, the sellers of these products, some of them, they don't know. Advertising at point of sale. Display. If you go to some of these supermarkets that we have here, you'll find tobacco being displayed at the point of sale.
Yeah, just next to the wines and the alcohol.
According to the act that we have right now, that is wrong. You cannot display the product.
Man, we are not doing enough.
What is required is for any consumer of this product, if they want the product, they should ask.
Whether it's there.
Whether it's there and they're given. Not to display the product whereby they can see it. We have instances where these products are sold next to sweets, chewing gums. That's long.
Yeah. Your final comments, kindly, so that we may protect the young generation.
Sure.
Are you perturbed by or concerned by the age that now we are having smokers as young as primary school children?
As young as 6 years.
As young as 6?
Yeah, that's NACADA research that we have. As young as 6 years, we have seen people starting consuming these products. And this because the marketing and all this, and for the vapes, you see the way they are disposed. Someone can throw it there, and these young men and women, some of them don't even know. We have the street kids on our streets. I've seen some of them picking up some of this and continuing to smoke. Yeah. So I would say that my message will go out to especially parents. Parents need to be vigilant. Now we have products that are smokeless, odorless. You can't detect as a parent if your kid or if your young one is using these products. Normally you used to, if you can perceive the smoke or the smell from their breath, you'll say, this is a smoker. Now these products are flavored. You can't know. You'll just be smelling mangoes.
Somebody can even use them in the church, you know? You don't even need to.
Sure. So those are areas of concern, and our message goes out also to our policymakers. They should move with speed. We are becoming very slow in this issue. We know there is the issue of industry interference. Last month they had a very big campaign targeting media, parliament. Even they had a protest in parliament asking that they want their velo and their vapes because they knew that the law is coming into force. But now we are asking our parliamentarians to be strong. We should take care of this problem once and for all without any delay.
Thank you, thank you. That has been Thomas Lindy, who is the coordinator, the Kenya Tobacco Control and Health Promotion Alliance. You've got it, KETCA.
Yeah.
And they're on the forefront to ensure that indeed nicotine use and even the products that we are seeing in the markets are done away. But let's be honest, the country is not doing enough. So you and I, we need to do something. Thank you so much for making time and for your insights. But actually, I will be very honest, I've known a lot of things. Thank you so much.
We need more of these sessions.
Yes, we do. We do. And definitely, and there will be, next time we'll be having Nakada as well. That's where we come to the end of our program this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in since we started at 10 a.m. My name is Ben Troy Njue. Lucy Mwaura is now the sign language interpreter. I'm giving the baton to my friend and colleague Khalid Abdullahi for Kurunzi Mashinani and Tamridi. Many thanks. Let's continue this conversation on social media.